Welcome, Dharma Warrior. In this space, we walk the path of truth with steady hearts, protect what is sacred, and choose peace without abandoning strength. Breathe in presence, breathe out resistance. Let's begin.
Have you ever felt like you're trapped in a loop? Not a routine, not a habit, but a loop. The kind where you keep arriving at the same destination. You're wearing different clothing, carrying different problems, speaking to different people, but yet the discovery is the outcome remains exactly the same. Sometimes I feel like we're all living in the twilight zone, a society of sleepwalkers, politely marching in circles while everyone quietly knows something is broken and yet nobody says anything. Why? Because we've been taught that silence is polite? But exactly what are we being polite for? For inefficiency? For suffering? For systems that no longer serve the people that they were created to protect? If you follow Dharma Warriors from the beginning, then you already know I have no face here, just a voice, no image to judge, no appearance to distract you, only ideas, hopefully ideas that linger long after the recording ends, and perhaps that is why I have always been labeled the outspoken one. Because if I experience resistance and can think of a solution or discover a way that the process could be improved for the next person, then ultimately remaining silent feels like active participation in the very thing I am displeased with. So if I can lessen the burden for someone walking behind me, why wouldn't I? You see, one thing life has taught me is that human beings are remarkably predictable during times of pain. When grief arrives, when finances collapse, and when life catches fire, people avoid. They stop opening mail, they stop answering phones, they postpone difficult decisions. Psychology has documented this for decades. It isn't weakness, it isn't stupidity, it's survival. Fight, flight, freeze. The body-mind attempting to preserve themselves when the weight of life simply becomes too heavy. And yet, what fascinates me is that many of the systems we rely upon simply are designed as though human beings never experience any of this. As though everyone facing divorce, grief, financial hardship, illness, trauma, or loss is expected to perform exactly and perfectly while their world is burning down all around them. Why? We know avoidance is normal during periods of extreme stress. Then why don't our systems reflect this reality? Why are we still pretending that human beings operate like machines? And this is where I introduce what I call the ring around the rosy effect. Round and around we go, the same policies, the same procedures, the same assumptions, generation after generation, no one questioning whether the process itself could be improved. No one willing to admit that perhaps the world has changed. Technology has changed. Communication has changed. Human needs have simply put changed. Yet some systems continue spinning in circles, repeating yesterday's solutions to today's problems. Round and around, ring around the rosy until eventually someone gets hurt. And when they do, the response is often the same. Well, that's the policy. We sent that letter. We followed procedure. But did anyone stop to ask whether the process actually worked? Did the communication reach the person? Did anyone consider the human being living through the crisis? Did anyone pause long enough to wonder if there may be a better way? Because there is no shame in improvement. There is no shame in change. In fact, every athlete trains to become better. Every business seeks innovation. Every teacher hopes that their student surpasses them. Evolution is the natural order of life. So why are some institutions so resistant to evolving? Why is admitting weakness treated as failure rather than wisdom? You see, when I speak, I am not trying to create chaos. I am not seeking attention. I am not attempting to tear things down. I speak because I have lived through experiences that revealed cracks in the foundation. And if those cracks can be repaired before someone else falls through them, then speaking becomes my responsibility, not a choice. Because if my pain can prevent yours, if my experience can shorten your suffering, if my voice can create even the smallest improvement for the person who comes after me, then every uncomfortable conversation becomes worthwhile. And perhaps that is the true purpose of being a Dharma warrior. Not to fight people, but to challenge complacency, to question what no longer serves, to advocate for growth, and to remind the world that there is nothing noble about repeatedly suffering through a broken process simply because nobody was brave enough to improve it.
Until we meet again, walk with courage, lead with compassion, and protect your peace.
We are the same but different.